Beyond Cleopatra, the lost queens of Egypt, the shadow of the last queen when we think of a female ruler in ancient Egypt, one name dominates the collective imagination: Cleopatra VII. She is remembered as a tragic seductress, a Greek-descended queen who navigated the fall of an empire. But the history of Egypt is far older, and its tradition of female power far deeper. Long before the Ptolemies, there were women who didn't just rule beside men, they ruled as men. Te were telivin, Horus, masters of the two lands. For centuries, their names were chiseled off monuments and scrubbed from king lists. Today, through forensic archaeology and digital reconstruction, we are finally unearthing the stories of the queens who truly shaped the empire. The first female pharaoh, Sobekneferu. The journey begins at the end of the Middle Kingdom. Approximately 1800 BCE, Sobekneferu was the first woman for whom we have undeniable evidence of a full pharaonic reign. When the male bloodline failed, she stepped into the vacuum. Archaeological finds show her in a unique visual transition. She is depicted wearing the traditional female sheath dress combined with the male nina's headdress and the royal kilt. This was a political statement of legitimacy. She wasn't just a placeholder. She was the protector of the state, though she ruled for less than 4 years. She established the precedent that the throne of Egypt was not exclusively a man's seat. The architect of power, Hatshepsut. Perhaps the most successful woman to ever wear the double crown was Hatshep. For 20 years, she oversaw a period of unprecedented peace and economic prosperity during the New Kingdom. The transformation, Hatshepsut began as a regent for her stepson, but eventually took the title of king. Forensic analysis of her statue shows a deliberate evolution from feminine features to a more muscular, masculine portrayal, often including the ceremonial false beard. The evidence: her mortuary temple at el-Bahari is an architectural marvel that rivals the pyramids. It features reliefs documenting a massive naval expedition to the land of Punt, proving her prowess in trade and international diplomacy. The erasure: after her death, her successor attempted to erase her from history. Archaeologists found smashed statues of the queen buried in pizza, damnatio memoria, meant to kill her soul. It was only through modern forensic reconstruction of these fragments that her legacy was restored. The diplomat and the divine Nefertiti, while famous for her beauty, the archaeological record suggests Nefertiti was much more than a pretty face. During the Amarna period, she served as the co-ruler, alongside her husband. Recent infrared scans and excavations in the city of Amarna suggest that Nefertiti may have outlived her husband and ruled as a sole pharaoh under the name Nef. Unlike other queens, she is depicted in temple reliefs performing actions, usually reserved for King Such as smiting enemies of Egypt. She was a central figure in a religious revolution that changed the course of Egyptian theology, positioning herself as a living link to the divine. Digital osteology. Identifying the queens. How do we know these women were real? We look to the mummies. Through CT scanning and DNA analysis, forensic archaeologists have been able to identify the physical remains of these lost rulers. In 2007, a mummy known as KV6OA was identified as Hatshepsut. The proof: a single molar found in a wooden box, inscribed with her name, perfectly matched a missing tooth socket in the mummy's jaw. Forensic reconstruction of her body revealed she was a woman of stature who likely suffered from diabetes and bone cancer, providing a humanizing look at the woman behind the stone monuments. Restoring the rightful place, the story of ancient Egypt is often told as a succession of great men, with Cleopatra as a final, anomalous footnote. But the archaeology tells a different story. Sobekneferu, Hatshepsut, and Nefertiti were not anomalies. They were strategic, powerful, and essential to the survival of the empire. By looking beyond the myth of Cleopatra, we find a lineage of women who commanded armies, built cathedrals of stone, and navigated the complex politics of the ancient world. Their faces may have been chiseled away, but their impact on history is indelible.